back to our series on properties, perimeter, and area. In this video, we're going to be going through triangle. Now, starting off with our properties of a triangle, we've got two examples over here, and what we can see straight away, they have three sides. Now, these may all be equal. They don't always have to be equal. A triangle, we just know, has three sides. We also know that a triangle has three internal angles. And one of the really special properties of these internal angles is that they all add up to 180 degrees. And it really doesn't matter what shape the triangle takes. All of those internal angles, when you add them together, so you've got this one, and this one, add them together, 180 degrees. This one, and this one, again, 180 degrees. They are the most important properties that we need to understand about triangles. So pause the video, write those down, keep them somewhere really handy because they are going to be useful later on. Okay, so from here, let's move on to perimeter. Now, because there are so many different kinds of triangles, there's right triangles, equilateral, isosceles, scalene, there's not really any one hard, fast rule for finding the perimeter of a triangle. So really all we're going to do is take this side, and this side, and we are going to add them together. But be very careful because what did we say in previous videos? Same symbol means same value. They may not always be the same value. Sometimes they will be. Equilateral triangles, they will have the same value. But we've got side 1, side 2, and side 3. 1, 2, 3. Just putting these little numbers down there tells the reader, tells you that there are 3 different values there, and you need to associate each value with the corresponding spot in the formula. So this may be 10 centimeters, 3 centimeters, and 5 centimeters. It just means that it'll be 10 plus 3 plus 5, which will give us a total perimeter of 18 centimeters. Don't forget the value, the unit of measurement there. It is really important. But essentially, that's perimeter. So let's move on with our final one, area. This is the tricky one. This is the one where we kind of have to realize that every triangle, no matter what shape it takes, believe it or not, is half of a rectangle. Now, in a previous video, we calculated area of a rectangle, and we used our formula of length times width. Well, we can still use that here. We just kind of adjust it a little bit to fit for our triangle. And when we start to understand that every single triangle is half of that rectangle, well, we can remember that to halve anything, we're going to divide it by 2. The only thing left for us now is to kind of decide which one is the length, which one is the width. And we can do that by giving our baseline, so what the triangle, the base of the triangle is going to sit on, let's call this one here our base. We're going to allocate that to one of these letters here. And I usually like to allocate it to the width because the base is more often than not going to be the shorter side. So that's what I like to do. I'm going to just change this formula around here a little bit to reflect that. Base divided by 2. And really all that's left is to give the length its new name. Now in our top triangle there, in our right triangle, we can see that the height is going to be very easy to measure if we have a ruler. It's just rule straight along that line. But our triangles don't always work that way. So what you're going to find when you have that triangle, it's going to give you a value off to the side like this. And that's going to be your height. Sometimes it might be referred to as your vertical height, but it is your height. So we're going to change it. It's going to be, oh, wait. Height times base divided by 2. And what this means is if our base is 5 meters and our height is 10 meters, it becomes 10 times 5 divided by 2. You may also sometimes see it expressed as height times base divided by 2. When you see that, just remember fractions are division, and it still plays out the same way. So 10 times 5 is 50 divided by 2, which is 25 meters. And what is super important with area? That's right, squared. That's how we calculate area for a triangle. So there we have it, properties, perimeter, area of a triangle. I hope this was helpful. If you needed to pause or go back to write down the worked example, feel free to do that. I'm sure your teacher in front of you has a whole bunch of activities for you to practice this and get really good. If you have any questions, feel free to bring them in. I will see you next time.